Diana Ross has lived a life of triumph and controversy. But one truth she carried for more than 5 decades has 007 seconds only now begun to surface. Her bond with Michael Jackson was unlike anything else in the world of music. An attachment so 014 seconds deep that even his closest friends rarely understood it. He once described her as mother, sister, and something far 022 seconds more complicated. A connection that haunted them both. Today at 81, her words have finally opened a door into 031 seconds that hidden history. The first encounter. The story began in 1969 when the Jackson 5 arrived at Motown, a 040 seconds label already rich with stars. Michael Joseph Jackson was just 11 years old, a child with a voice so powerful that 048 seconds Motown's Berry Gordy believed he was the next James Brown and Sammy Davis Jr. 053 seconds rolled into one. To give the group a glamorous introduction, Motown arranged for Diana Ross, already the queen of the 101 minute, 1 second label, to present the Jackson 5 as if she had discovered them herself. It was a publicity stunt, but for Michael, it 108 minute, 8 seconds felt like fate. He admired Diana from the moment they met, and over time that admiration grew into something more profound. 117 minute, 17 seconds for nearly a year, Michael lived in Diana's home in Los Angeles. He called her mama, teased his sisters by saying they would only be pretty if they looked 125 minute, 25 seconds like her, and confessed to friends that she was both a guide and a dream. 131 minute, 31 seconds Katherine Jackson, his mother, would later write in her memoir that her son often referred to Diana as if she were 137 minute, 37 seconds his second mother. Yet even then, the affection had shades of something unusual, something that didn't fit neatly into family roles. In 1971, 149 minute, 49 seconds Diana's television special introduced Michael to a national audience. Not just as part of the Jackson 5, but as a boy 156 minute, 56 seconds who could shine on his own. She gently coached him, teaching him how to move with confidence, how to control his 204 minutes, for seconds nerves, and how to meet the camera with a smile. That special wasn't only a performance. It was a passing of the 211 minutes, 11 seconds torch. An older star teaching a younger one how to survive in a business that devoured innocence. For Michael, Diana's 220 minutes, 20 seconds belief in him was a lifeline. He would later summarize his feelings with one unforgettable line. She's mother, 228 minutes, 28 seconds sister, and lover all combined in one. 233 minutes, 33 seconds. It was a statement no one quite knew how to process, but it revealed the peculiar depth of his attachment. The Wiz and the silent bond. 243 minutes, 43 seconds. By the late 1970s, Michael Jackson was no longer just the child star of the Jackson 5. He was 19 years old, caught 252 minutes, 52 seconds between boyhood and manhood, trying to figure out who he was outside of Motown's control. In 1977, he took on 3 o'clock minutes, his first major film role in The Wiz, a modern adaptation of The Wizard of Oz, featuring an all-black cast. Diana Ross, 309 minutes, 9 seconds, already an international icon, was cast as Dorothy, while Michael stepped into the role of the Scarecrow. For Michael, 317 minutes, 17 seconds. The greatest gift of the project wasn't the film itself, but the chance to spend day after day in Diana's presence. The 325 minutes, 25 seconds movie was filmed in New York, far away from the protective eyes of Berry Gordy and Michael's family. Here, for the 332 minutes, 32 seconds first time, he and Diana lived within the same rhythm of work, rehearsals, and late-night conversations. 339 minutes, 39 seconds. Crew members noticed how close they became, whispering about nights when Diana stayed at Michael's rented apartment until morning. No one ever. 348 minutes, 48 seconds confirmed what truly happened, and neither Diana nor Michael ever offered an explanation. But for those who saw it, the intimacy was undeniable. 359 minutes, 59 seconds. Diana herself once joked with friends on set, saying, "One thing's for sure, 404 minutes, 4 seconds Michael isn't gay." The Wiz was a commercial failure, dismissed by critics as overblown. Yet for Michael, the 411 minutes, 11 seconds experience was transformative. He wasn't interested in the box office numbers. For 17 minutes, 17 seconds, what mattered to him was the time he had carved out with Diana, private moments that the public would never know. In her 425 minutes, 25 seconds company, he could be vulnerable without judgment. For 28 minutes, 28 seconds she listened when he spoke about his insecurities, reassured him when his voice wavered, and gave him the rare gift of acceptance. 2 songs from the 437 minutes, 37 seconds film, Ease on Down the Road and Brand New Day, captured more than a storyline. Watching Michael and Diana sing for 45 minutes, 45 seconds together, there was a harmony that felt personal, almost too intimate for the screen. They weren't just acting, they were looking at each other as if sharing 454 minutes, 54 seconds a secret. For Michael, this bond was not romantic in the traditional sense, but it was more powerful than friendship. It was something he carried in silence, 503 minutes, 3 seconds, something that gave him serenity amid the chaos of fame. By 1979, Michael was already preparing to step into a new 511 minutes, 11 seconds chapter with Off the Wall. But the quiet nights during the Wiz stayed with him. In a world that demanded perfection, 519 minutes, 19 seconds, Diana gave him permission to be imperfect, and that was enough to keep her etched into his heart forever. Confessions and Heartbreak. 529 minutes, 29 seconds. The early 1980s marked the beginning of Michael Jackson's transformation from teen idol to global superstar. 536 minutes, 36 seconds. Yet, in the middle of all the flashing lights and roaring crowds, one constant remained: Diana Ross. Their connection had grown more layered, more complex. 548 minutes, 48 seconds, and in 1982, Michael said something that stunned the world. During an interview with Ebony magazine, his voice trembling, but steady, he confessed, 558 minutes, 58 seconds, it's Diana Ross. I love her. It wasn't wrapped in metaphors or hidden behind lyrics. Michael had spoken plainly, 607 minutes, 7 seconds, admitting that he dreamed of marrying her. At the time, Michael was in his early 20s. Diana in her late 30s. The 615 minutes, 15 seconds 14-year age gap made their dynamic unusual, and the public struggled to take his declaration seriously. 623 minutes, 23 seconds. Some dismissed it as youthful infatuation, but those who knew him understood how deeply he meant it. 631 minutes, 31 seconds. Michael had carried this feeling since childhood, and finally saying it out loud was one of the bravest things he had ever done. The public, however, 640 minutes, 40 seconds, didn't know what was happening behind closed doors. By the mid-1980s, Diana had promised Michael marriage, not once, 649 minutes, 49 seconds, but reportedly twice. She even wore his ring in public. At the 1984 American 656 minutes, 56 seconds Music Awards, she kissed him on the lips on stage and cradled his face in her hands, as if daring the world to acknowledge what they had kept private. 705 minutes, 5 seconds for so long. For Michael, that moment felt like vindication, proof that the woman he adored might finally be his. 714 minutes, 14 seconds, but the reality was far harsher. 718 minutes, 18 seconds. Diana Ross soon pulled away. Michael's mother, Catherine, had openly disapproved of the relationship, calling 726 minutes, 26 seconds Diana too old and warning that it would damage her son's image. 731 minutes, 31 seconds. The press began branding Diana with cruel labels, painting her as a cradle robber. Under pressure, Diana backed out. 739 minutes, 39 seconds of her engagement to Michael, choosing instead to marry Norwegian businessman Ari Næss Jr. Michael was devastated. He 747 minutes, 47 seconds didn't attend the wedding. Friends recalled his silence in the days that followed, how he avoided the studio. 754 minutes, 54 seconds refused interviews, and admitted quietly, I loved her and always will. 759 minutes, 59 seconds. His heartbreak was not the loud kind. It was quiet, gnawing, and written into the unfinished songs he left in notebooks. 808 minutes, 8 seconds. To the public, he remained the king of pop, untouchable and unstoppable. 814 minutes, 14 seconds. But to those close to him, he was a young man grieving the loss of the only woman he had ever truly loved. Dirty 821 minutes, 21 seconds. Diana and the Silent War. By the mid-1980s, Michael Jackson stood on top of the world. Thriller had shattered every 830 minutes, 30 seconds record, and he was now the most famous entertainer alive. Yet, even at the height of his success, the wound left by 837 minutes, 37 seconds Diana Ross lingered. He had watched her marry Arena Jr., start a new family, and build a life that did not include him. 846 minutes, 46 seconds. Outwardly, he carried on with his music. 848 minutes, 48 seconds. But privately, he turned his heartbreak into art. In 1987, Michael recorded Dirty Diana, a song that immediately 857 minutes, 57 seconds sparked speculation to the public. He explained it was about aggressive groupies, women who pursued musicians. 904 minutes, 4 seconds backstage. But those who listened closely sensed something deeper. The timing was 912 minutes, 12 seconds suspicious. The song was copyrighted just as Diana's marriage was becoming official. Quincy Jones, 9:17 minutes, 17 seconds. Michael's longtime producer, reportedly begged him to change the lyrics, warning that everyone would assume it was about her. 9:26 minutes, 26 seconds. Michael agreed to adjust one verse, 9:28 minutes, 28 seconds, making it sound more like a generic story. Yet, the pain in his voice told another story entirely. The lyrics were 9:36 minutes, 36 seconds sharp, almost vengeful, describing a woman hungry for fame and attention, 9:41 minutes, 41 seconds, someone who used love as a weapon. It was a far cry from Michael's usual themes of unity and innocence. To 9:49 minutes, 49 seconds. Insiders, the message was clear. This was about Diana, and she knew it. 9:56 minutes, 56 seconds. Furious, she refused to speak to him for weeks. Eventually, she softened, even turning the song into a joke in her live 10:04 minutes, for seconds shows, playfully referencing it in her own performances. But the rift had been exposed. Their relationship became a 10:12 minutes, 12 seconds strange push and pull. Michael could never let her go, but Diana seemed unwilling to fully commit to him or to 10:19 minutes, 19 seconds release him. When he was photographed with Madonna, Diana reappeared, sitting on his lap at parties and monopolizing 10:26 minutes, 26 seconds his attention. At award shows, she flirted with him on stage, blowing kisses and clinging to him even when he brought other women as his dates. 10:36 minutes, 36 seconds. Friends described it as a cycle. Michael trying to move forward, Diana pulling him back, not to claim him, but to 10:43 minutes, 43 seconds ensure no one else did. The result was a silent war of affection, jealousy, and unspoken words. Michael admitted in his autobiography, Moonwalk, in 1988. 10:55 minutes, 55 seconds, I've always loved Diana Ross, and I always will. But the truth was more complicated. She was both his greatest 11:04 minutes, for seconds comfort, and his deepest wound. The one person who could inspire him and destroy him all at once. 11:12 minutes, 12 seconds. Loyalty through scandal. 11:15 minutes, 15 seconds. The 1990s brought storms that Michael Jackson could not moonwalk away from. In 1993, the first public allegations of child molestation shook the world. 11:26 minutes, 26 seconds. 13-year-old Jordan Chandler and his father accused Michael of abuse. 11:31 minutes, 31 seconds. Igniting a media frenzy unlike anything before. Police raided Neverland. 11:37 minutes, 37 seconds. Reporters stalked his every move. And television networks replayed every rumor until it seemed his career might. 11:44 minutes, 44 seconds. Collapse entirely. Through it all, Diana Ross remained quiet in public but steadfast in private. Friends close to 11:52 minutes, 52 seconds. Michael said she called him, visited him, and reassured him that she believed in his innocence. When his own sister 11:59 minutes, 59 seconds. LaToya made damning statements, later revealed to be coerced by her abusive husband. Diana's loyalty never wavered. 12:08 minutes, 8 seconds. She saw the boy she had once mentored, the man she believed was misunderstood, and she stood firm. 12:16 minutes, 16 seconds. By 1995, when Michael collapsed during a rehearsal and was